Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Feelings in Pink. This space is where your feelings are valid, your softness is celebrated, and your healing is honored. So today we're going to be talking about something that many of us have heard before. Some people might have said, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting, or you just take everything too personally. And if you have ever been told that before, this episode is especially for you. So let's be honest for a second. Being called too sensitive is rarely said in a loving way. It usually comes after you've spoken up about something that made you feel some type of way. It comes after a boundary, after you express your discomfort. It comes after you start putting your emotions first. It's a phrase that shuts down your feelings instead of acknowledging them. But here's the truth that no one tells you. Most of the time, when people say you're too sensitive, it's because they're not ready to hear how their actions affect others. They don't want to take responsibility. They're just uncomfortable with emotions. Or maybe they grew up with environments where their feelings were hidden, so yours seem like too much, when really your feelings are just real. So being sensitive does not mean that you're broken. It means that you're aware of things, you're present, you're in touch with your own emotions. And that's something that you shouldn't be ashamed of. That's something you should be proud of. When people say that to you over and over and over again, it could be your parents, your teachers, friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. And then you start to believe what they tell you. You start to say to yourself, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I shouldn't feel this type of way. Maybe I should just keep quiet. You start to shrink yourself. You silence yourself before anyone else gets the chance to, and you start hiding your feelings. You're dimming your own light and you're doubting your own reality. And that's where the real damage happens. We start gaslighting ourselves. But let me remind you of something. Your emotions are not a burden. They're a compass. They tell you what's safe, what hurts, what matters. You are allowed to feel them fully, loudly, softly, however they come. So when the world tries to make us think being cold, distant, and unbothered is strong, but you know what's really strong? Feeling everything and still showing up. Being vulnerable in a world that teaches you to be numb. Setting boundaries even when your voice shakes. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, it's a superpower. Sensitive people notice small shifts in the room. You can tell when someone has a bad vibe, or you don't have to say anything. They just know that there's something wrong in a room. They hear things people don't say. They love deeply. They care honestly. And they often hold others through storms, even when they're in one themselves. This is a gift, and you shouldn't feel ashamed of it. So it does hurt when someone dismisses your feelings. So next time they try this, you could always say, I'm not too sensitive. I just feel things deeply. I'm allowed to express what affects me. Or you can also say, it's okay if you don't understand how I feel, but don't dismiss what I'm saying. And if someone continues to invalidate you, you have every right to protect your peace and distance yourself. So I want you to know, if you have ever cried and been called dramatic, or if you've ever spoken your truth and people told you you're overreacting, even if you felt misunderstood or too much for the people around you, you're not alone. People like me, like this community, people will understand you. We love that soft part of you. We love your sensitivity. It's not a flaw. It's just proof that you're in touch with your humanity. So you're not too sensitive. You're beautifully, unapologetically in tune with your emotions. You care, you love, you feel. And that's what makes this world a softer, safer place. Protect that. And don't dim your light for anyone that tells you you're too much, you're too this, you're too that. So thank you so much for sharing this space with me today. And if this episode touched you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded of their worth. Let's keep creating a safe, pink, healing spaces together. I love you. I see you. Until next time, stay soft, strong, and stay real.